Ah, yes. The Vaublou sycophant, seen here in its natural habitat, as it purposely tries to derail the Bernie Sanders. Right? Isn't this like the SpongeBob Frenchy voice that comes in? Ah, yes. And we can do the yoga instructor from Couples Retreat. Ah, yes, then do it, do it. I like all my girls in the downward dog position, right? I mean, this is what the Democratic Party is doing right now. The DNC has stacked the Rules Committee with Barney Frank, the number one Bernie hater of them all, okay? Then you've got the New York Times coming out with hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. Bernie can't win. You got the Mia Farrows of the world running around saying, I liked Bernie Sanders, especially when he was on Mr. Moyer's show, Bill Moyer's. And, but I just realized that Bernie can't win. He just can't win. And then now you've got Hillary, and yet again another podcast opportunity where she's blaming Bernie Sanders for not uniting the Democratic Party because, after all, Bernie should have fell in line because someone other than Bernie should be setting the agenda. You know what I'm saying? Someone other than Bernie should be setting the agenda. Damn him. And then Biden comes out. I'm a real Democrat. Bernie Sanders isn't a real Democrat. Now, see, I want to say this to you all. This shit only works for weak-willed vote blue, no matter who sycophants. The vote blue sycophant has lost all cognition. They don't bring to the table anything other than a vote. They march in line. They don't care if it leads right off a cliff, man. They vote blue no matter who. Sig Heil, Sig Heil. This is what they do. They don't have a clue. They're the good German, man. Auschwitz is burning, and there they are. Literally marching in line. They don't fucking care. They don't care. And they'll say anything to disparage Bernie Sanders. They will tear him apart. They will literally lie through their teeth, and they have no expectation, no intention of having this much integrity. And Bernie will go through this thing being a gentleman while getting pelted from his too cool for school, sort of woke, not really woke left flank. Bernie's not socialist enough. You know what I'm saying, man? Bernie's just not socialist enough. He's not socialist enough. And so now you've got a situation where the one guy, and he's only one, the only one, that's got a comprehensive end-to-end plan with a movement behind him, the only one, is getting hit from the left, the right, the center, all in the name of bullshit. All in the name of bullshit. And I got to tell you, progressives in this nation have had to sit there under a horse, waiting for it to rain. And when they get pissed on the head, they think it's manna from heaven because they've been so used to getting the shaft that it doesn't matter where it comes from. The donkey has taken a leak on their head, and it expects them to like it. It expects them to grin and bear it. It expects them, in the words of the great Obama, to eat their fucking peas. Iowa is right around the corner, folks. And the people that are woke and know about Bernie Sanders, they would never vote for another one of these fools. They don't even need to hear these neoliberals talking about how we can't possibly afford to do these nice things. Because a Bernie Sanders supporter is not a moron. At least I hope not. These other people, they don't care. They're not interested in policy. Do you understand? I like her hair. I'll vote for her. She's a real Democrat. I'll vote for her. He said certain things I just didn't like. I'm not voting.
not an ounce of integrity, not an ounce of knowledge, not an ounce of usefulness, just a vote. And that's all they care about. So they are purposely doing this deluge, this bombardment, this carpet bombing right before Iowa, because they realize Bernie Sanders is lined up to run the table. And then that vote blue no matter who thing is going to be put to the test, isn't it? Because all of a sudden, all those evil people that love killing people, love going to war, it's celebrated, wear the pork pie hats and say, if Hillary would have been elected, we'd all be at brunch right now. You know those people? You know those type? You know the Angie Listers? The toxic white feminist elite? You know those people? They're more likely to vote for Trump than Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie Sanders is trying to fight for the people, and those people are more interested in their Wall Street savings accounts, in their Wall Street investment accounts. They don't measure the country by how the least of these are tended to. They measure it based on whether or not they can sneer down at their neighbor because their car is 2 years old instead of their brand new Hummer. Because, you know, they're all about the environment at Davos, right? Folks, Bernie Sanders is the lone hope we have. The lone hope we have. And when you see these attacks come through, telling that Bernie didn't unite anybody. Bernie went on a nonstop tour of ending corruption, of going for the programs that we the people need. And that Hillary shillbot piece of dung had the nerve to try to say that Bernie didn't try to unite the people. Hell, he's the only one that tried to unite the people. Literally the only one. He didn't have to do any fake dances and drink fake beer on Instagram photos like E. Warren, the lying slob. He didn't have to do any of that hokey dokey shit that the others do. He didn't have to play the saxophone. Bernie Sanders is just all policy all day long and all movement all day long. And these people are fundamentally proving themselves to be liars. Instead, you remember, oh, don't bash Hillary. Don't bash Hillary. Oh, you're just bashing her. You've got Hillary derangement syndrome. You remember that shit? Do you remember that nonsense? Well, they're out there in mass. Every one of these vote blue sycophants, this neoliberal cabal, these evil sons of bitches are lining up, proving once and for all that they don't really mean to unify the party. They don't care what you want. Do you understand? They want to keep big business big. They want to appeal to their big business donors, the billionaire class. They don't give one rat's ass about you and I. They don't care about the climate because, after all, Bernie's not a real Democrat. Forget the world's burning up. Forget Australia's on fire. Bernie's not a real Democrat. This is the level of worthless, psychopathic worthlessness from these Democrats. The worst people on the planet. You can't make this shit up. They are as bad as ever. They make Donald Trump look like a decent guy, which is impossible. How the hell can Hillary Clinton make Donald Trump look better than he did? Because she's her. Because she's her. She can make the Don, the Khan, look like a decent president. The absolute most incredible act. This is better than Christ being resurrected from the dead. This is better than him turning water into wine. Damn it, she was able to make Don Trump look presidential compared to her. That's how bad these people are. And Biden sucking fingers and shit on TV. This is a travesty that these people even have jobs anymore. But there are bad people. Folks, lemmings, the vote blue sycophant, is going to do whatever the party tells them to do. They're going to vote blue no matter who. They have no brain whatsoever. And they will follow the voice of these evil people because they are all about impeachment. They're all about Russia. They're all about oh my God, oh! They're the easiest led. All you got to do is throw a little bit of chum in the water and they're like, Don the con, Don the con, Don the con. And this is what we're up against. Nobody's talking about economic policy. Nobody's talking about how many people's lives would be saved from Medicare for All. Nobody's talking about how incredible a Green New Deal would be toward our long-term survival on this planet. They don't give a crap about any of that. Not one of them. They're more than happy to let you die as long as you vote blue no matter who. And that, my friends, is why we got to fight like mad to get Bernie Sanders into office. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progress in Action. And you bet your bottom dollar, Real Progress in Action endorses Bernie Sanders. I'm out.